Hello!
Hey there!
Welcome back to the Tom and Jerry Experience. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine.
And you are?
I am Captain Tom.
And I'm Sailor Jerry. You may notice that we're both wearing Cincinnati Reds garb, as the recording of this particular episode is Reds opening day.
Right.
And so, hey, go Reds. Now, that's a really neat shirt there you got there. I like that. Where'd you get that?
Okay. I like to go to the Reds games on my birthday a lot.
Okay.
Because they play on my birthday. And in 2022, I went to the Reds game on my birthday, not knowing they were going to have a giveaway.
Oh, gotcha.
And I just wanted to go on my birthday.
Yeah.
We got these shirts. Me and the gentleman that was with me worked for the company that helps me out.
Sure, yeah.
And we got these shirts. Hunter Green is a pitcher for the Reds, and his name is on the back. He's number 21 here.
Nice. Now he's currently on the disabled list for a little bit, for about probably a couple months. He might be available in July, I think. So
I guess that's one thing we both got in common right now.
What's that?
We're both on the disabled
list. You're both on the disabled list. Oh, man. Hold on. Are we ready for jokes already? Let's go ahead. We're a little too early in the episode for jokes.
That's a joke
I noticed that you're very well shaven there, Captain Tom.
Yeah.
Man, very nice. It looks a little almost like a high intent, nice and smooth there. So
I did my best.
I wanted to share with the audience a little, kind of before. Now you're seeing the after.
Right.
Okay. Producer CJ, could you show us the before picture? Yes. So there's the before. And then when you take the before away, hey, here's the after. Man, looking good. You look 10 years younger. What's going on, man?
That much younger? Wow.
All right. Well, hey. There's this just in. Another joke other than you're both on the disabled list. Okay. All right. So I caught my neighbor stealing my socks off my clothesline. Right? I caught my neighbor stealing my socks off my clothesline. I was going to confront him, but I got cold feet. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to move on.
I want to make a comment about the current Reds.
Oh, okay. Current Reds. All right.
Unfortunately, we just lost.
We just found out we lost. Okay, but that's okay.
3-0.
That's all right.
The statistic I wanted to give you is something that they gave on the TV earlier.
Okay.
Now, I'm just going to ask this quick question, including what just happened now.
Okay.
How many games in the last 20 years?
20 years, okay.
Have the Reds actually won on opening day?
Okay. So the past 20 years, so since about 2005 until, or 2006 maybe. Okay. Yeah. So we'll say 2006.
It would be 6, yeah.
I'm going to say how many games, because
I know the answer.
I'm going to say 5. I think it's a low number.
Well, you're not too far off.
Okay. What's the answer?
9.
Wow. So less than 50%.
Yeah.
In the past 20 years, we've only won 9 games on opening day. Wow.
And we lost again today.
Yes, yes.
But here's the thing. Losing on opening day doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have a bad year. You can lose on opening day and still have a wonderful year. I don't know what we're going to do this year, but
we'll see what happens. They'll get their act together. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So this is gonna be a fun episode. I went out on the, as we know, of the interwebs, right? And I solicited some information from our
viewing audience.
Yes, from our great fans, if you will. And I just simply said, because we were quoting in previous episodes, we were quoting stuff from like movies and stuff, right?
Right.
So I just thought about it, like, I personally, and I'll go over it later on, I personally have a favorite quote of mine. And I just thought, I just simply put out there, I said, hey, what's your favorite quote, right? Some people have quotes for like inspiration. Some people have quotes to live by. Some people have quotes that, and we're going to read some of these that are just kind of funny, you know what I mean, that they like to say. So I'll tell you what, how about I go first with a couple, okay? And then we'll have you chime in on a couple that you have, and we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
So, this one's kind of funny. So have you always hear people say blah 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 blah. Confucius say okay. So this MB, right?
Okay.
Normal contributor. Thank you from California. MB says I didn't say all that shit. Confucius. Confucius say I didn't say all that shit. That was funny. Sue, who has contributed in the past, a very big contributor. She says, "Be excellent to each other." I love that. Be excellent to each other.
That is also a movie quote.
Very nice. I'll do one more before we move on. Jerry Senior. Jerry. So Sailor Jerry Senior. He was also in the Navy, right? He says, because he said he also quoted a couple times. He says, "Life is but a chance on a windswept hill." I kind of like. It's like, we're only here for a short amount of time. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah,
make the best of it, type of thing, right?
That's right.
So, what kind of things you got there, Captain Tom?
All right. Well, let's see. Debbie is Debbie.
She's contributed, fairly
person?
new, but she's contributed.
It says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger."
Oh yeah. I agree with that.
Now, the next person's got 1, 2, 3, 6.
He's got a few. And
Now,
the next
how many
person,
do you want me to do?
let's just do 5. The first 5, and he's a normal contributor.
That's only going to leave one off.
Well, there you go.
Well, I'm going to do the last one. Is one of the 5.
Okay, and now this is from who? Who's this from?
This is from Albert.
Albert. Okay, Al.
Albert.
Yep.
Albert. The last one on the list is one I really like.
Okay.
Surround yourselves with positive people, not negative people.
Oh, I love it.
I have said this for not exactly that way.
Yes.
I always told people, if you think positively, positive things happen.
Yeah.
If you think negatively, negative things happen.
I agree.
I told that to both of my wives.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Another one that he has, the first one he had listed is from a movie quote again.
Movie quote.
One of my, and I guess your favorites.
Okay, probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stupid is stupid does, sir.
Isn't that
it
the truth?
It doesn't say sir, but that's the way the quote goes.
Isn't that the truth?
Let's see. Sounds too good to be true. It usually is.
I tell my, I say that to my kids. If it seems too good to be true, it definitely is. It probably is. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
And then here's one I say. I mean, I've said over to you. Might not have said it recently.
Yeah.
But it says, "What goes around comes around." That's
karma. That's like a karma
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
That's exactly karma.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with the surround people with positivity, because it's like you say, what comes around goes around. Yeah. Great. Is that the last one for Albert?
Well, that was 4 out of the 6.
Okay, well, let's keep going. We're doing pretty good here. I like this.
Do another one?
Yeah, do another one from Albert.
Okay, this one's a little lengthy. Well, not that lengthy, but more lengthy than the other 5. A listening ear can be a running mouth. Ooh. Be careful who you tell your secrets to.
I tell you, yes. You know what? I completely agree with that, because sometimes a person you're talking to might be the person that likes to talk, right? So maybe they tell, other than us, right?
I'm that kind of person, I will admit it.
Don't tell Captain Tom your secrets. No, just kidding.
Unless you want other people to know.
Right, there you go.
And then there was one left.
Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and go with that one more.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, if someone questions your dreams, they are already beneath you.
Nice. I like that.
That was all 6. That was all 6 from Albert.
So if we have a dream of doing a podcast and somebody says, you know what, that's not gonna do any good or whatever, they're beneath us. Yeah. Just, you know what, they'll follow your dreams. Basically,
and that goes back to, think positive instead of negative.
Like I said, follow your dreams, go with it. Don't allow others. And this is going to kind of tie into my favorite quote that I'll mention later, but don't allow others to ruin that type of thing, All right, I'm going to mention a couple here. So Barb, she's contributed before. She's also contributed some jokes as well in previous episodes. Now, this is also from Confucius. Okay. Confucius said, "It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop." Man, I tell you,
Yeah.
I've always said, and you can ask, my children, whatever. I always say that slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
I do agree
I've
with that,
said
slow and
that
steady.
a lot of times too.
Now, Brenda has contributed a lot. Thank you, Brenda. You
Yeah.
do a great job contributing to the show. She says here, and then she explains the quote. Okay. She says, "You cannot control the behavior or words of others. You can only control how you choose to respond to it."
There you go.
I'd say, I've said this to my children growing up too, like, hey, you choose to say what comes out your mouth. You choose to say that. So yeah, I like that. She goes on to say, she explains, a counselor said this to her years ago. She says, once she broke it down and realized exactly what it meant, it made her realize that the true power lies in managing her own actions and emotions rather than trying to change people around her. I love that. Again, you can only really, that's all you can control. You can control what you do, what you say,
And
how you feel. So
that was from whom?
Brenda. Yeah. Aunt from another side there. So give us one or two more, Captain Tom, if you have
All
them.
right. Well, you mentioned Barb before. I've got one of Barb's
Oh, okay.
here too.
Another one. All right. Same person.
Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times. If you only use only oh wait a minute. If one only remembers to turn on the light. And it says J.K. Rowling.
So that is she wrote the Harry Potters, right? So
Okay.
yeah. And I tell you, there's another person, I forget his name, it'll come to me on another time. But actually, one of the quotes I like that is actually similar to that is, celebrate what's right with the world. Don't celebrate celebrate what's right.
Yeah.
If you see something, and this was a photographer, the photographer was showing pictures, and it just didn't look like a good picture. He came back the next day, and then all of a sudden, you know how those things grow, and they have like the poof things, you can make a wish and you blow them, right?
Dandelion.
Yeah, but sometimes they're yellow and ugly, but then they kind of turn into like something pretty.
Well, the poofy part is the seeds, and then later on it turns into yellow.
So he was saying, celebrate what's right. Like with a photographer, you may see something, but then you zoom in and you see something else so much beautiful. Celebrate what's right. Kind of. All right. What else you got there, Captain Tom?
Okay. Didn't you say that Barb contributed just now on yours?
Yes.
I got another one from Barb here.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Oh, that's the one you just said.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I got one from Paula.
Paula, yeah. She's contributed recently. Yep.
Thank you, Paula.
And she watches the show, yeah.
Let's see. We buy things Here's a good one. We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like.
Yes.
That's from Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, he's a big financial guy, right? And he gives a lot of financial advice to people. It's kind of like, trying to keep up with the Joneses, right?
Yeah.
Trying to impress other people.
Right.
Why? Again, back to, you can only control what you feel on the inside, right? So, why? And it's difficult at different ages. When you're younger, sometimes you see your friends, you see other people, and you see what they have, and you're like, oh man, I want that. You know what I mean? But I love that quote. I love it. All right, I got a few here. Okay. I'll kind of finish up my list here. I got 3 more on my list. I love these quotes.
And I have 2. So
great. All right, Nancy. Great. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Nancy.
She says, and I love this, carpe diem, right? Seize the day. There seems to be a theme with a lot of these quotes.
Oh, yeah.
Are very similar, Now, I love this one. So this is from Rick. He's contributed before. He's the one I said was, he was in the Navy and stuff like that. We served together.
Thank you, Rick.
Rick says, and I love this, he says, the object of war is not to die for your country, but to make the other poor bastard die for his. And that was from General George Patton. So World War II, that was from your World War II era, so.
Yeah.
Now, my last one here, before I mention mine, and maybe you mention yours.
I still have 2 more on mine.
No, I know. But before we finish yours, So John, he's the one I refer to as neighbor John. Thank you, John, for contributing. This is kind of funny. He says, and this is from Saturday Night Live. He says,
Okay.
"Jane, you ignorant slut."
I can tell you what that was all about. If you don't know.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one, but
I can tell you exactly what it was about if you want me to tell you.
okay, sure. We got a couple.
On Saturday Night Live, they
Okay.
did the news.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Chevy Chase did the news first.
Okay,
and then
so
he left.
we're going
When he-
back a
When he
ways.
left, Jane Curtin was Jane,
Okay.
and Dan Aykroyd was on the news
Okay.
with Jane. He is the one that had the quote about Jane being an ignorant slut.
Oh, that's funny.
So,
Thank you, John. That was funny. You gave us a good laugh. All right. You got a couple more.
yeah. This is from Jerry Senior.
Sailor Jerry Senior,
Sailor
right?
Jerry
Okay.
Sr..
Gotcha.
Please don't call me Shirley.
And that's from a movie.
And that's from the movie Airplane.
Yep.
Where the actual first line is, surely you're not serious.
Right.
Then he says, of course I'm serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Right. And then did you have a final one, or is that the?
I have one way. I have this final one that you marked as final.
Okay, so we'll hold off on that one for
Okay.
just a second, okay? So I'm going to share with you my favorite quote.
Go ahead.
I first heard this quote in high school. I took a class. The class was called Personal Motivation.
Okay.
And but every week somebody different had to bring in a new quote. And I don't recall if I brought this quote in. I think it
What
was
high
me.
school are we talking?
Well, I attended Elder High School.
Oh, it was Elder.
Yeah, that's where I went. Yeah, that's where I graduated.
That's a high school here in town.
In
For
Cincinnati,
those
yes.
that Aren't
Yes, that's it.
here local.
In Cincinnati, we always like to say where we went to high school. You know, it's a Cincinnati thing. You wouldn't understand.
In the west side and the
Yeah.
east side, yes.
So, but anyway, so the quote goes like this: No one can make you feel inferior without your permission. And
There we go.
I love that quote. And the person who said that, and it may not be the exact perfect words, but it was Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt said that. And again, no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. And it goes hand in hand with some of these other quotes that we're hearing, like,
Yeah.
hey, a lot of it's what's inside of you,
Yeah, it also kind of makes it seem like you're talking about not making yourself a victim.
Yeah, exactly. So do you kind of have one, or I know you have a lot?
Well, I could be here all till the end of the millennium.
Well, what we say, the new thing, Tom's Tidbits, Captain's Tom's
Tidbits
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
One thing that I text this a lot to people is okie dokie artichoke.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I do the same thing. I don't do the artichoke, but I do oftentimes okie dokie. Yeah, it's like that's awesome. I love that.
I could go on and, there's a lot of things I say. You don't want to ask me what's up.
No, every time I say, hey, what's up? What do you always say?
Up is an adverb.
This just
I
in.
stole that one. I will tell you how I got a hold of that. I was at a church festival years ago,
Okay.
and there was a guy dressed like a clown.
All right.
And two kids came up to him and said that, what's up? And that's what he responded. Up is an adverb.
This almost sounds like the beginning of a joke. A clown goes to a church festival.
Clown goes into a bar. Yeah.
Right. But okay, so we have one last one, and I wanted to save it for the last because it kind of segues into a topic that I want to introduce to our fans and get some solicit, I should say, some info, some response. But read the last one, Tom. What do you got there?
Okay, this is from Sue again.
Okay,
I think
great.
You mentioned Sue earlier.
Yes.
Thank you again, Sue. It says, this is what it reads. From my brother Gordon, that's my brother, your uncle,
Right.
his great uncle, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
It says, from my brother Gordon, our mom said these. Kid, I wish, meaning, I think she's saying.
Talking to the kid.
Kid is saying this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the way it's reading.
Okay.
I wish I didn't have to do that.
Okay.
Mom, This is mom's response.
Right.
Wish in one hand and poop in the other and see which one gets full faster.
I'll be honest. My mom used to say the same thing to me.
That's where she got it from.
Yeah.
And just for the audience, the word poop wasn't the word.
No, not at all. My mom didn't say poop either, you know. Wish in one hand and expletive in the other, and see which one fills up the quickest.
That's one of my sayings I say to a lot of different people. There's this commercial that drives me nuts.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know what it's for anymore.
Uh-huh.
But they keep saying, I wish this and I wish that. I blurt that out every time I see that.
That's funny. So that kind of segues into a topic that I'd like to discuss for a future show. And I'd like to get some response from our audience. Okay?
Okay.
So Sue mentioned that it was mom who said this, right?
Yeah.
So in a sense, yeah, you can call that a momism, right? All of our moms have momisms, right? There's also some dadisms out there.
Oh, yeah.
So let's call this parentisms, all right?
Parentisms.
So share with us. What I'd like to know is, what kind of parentisms did you grow up with? So the one that you heard, I'm not going to say anymore, but the one you heard, hey, wish in one hand and shit in the other, I'll say it, poop in the other, see which one fills up the quick, both of our moms said that.
Here we are going over that word, and I didn't know whether I should say it or not, but you did.
But it's okay. Hey, you know what? S word is okay. But anyway.
It's like they said in Forrest Gump as well. It happens.
Hey. Yeah, shit. Right. What, shit? Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, share with us some of your parentisms. We'd like to hear these.
Some things your parents would have said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over and over again.
Yes. Some, I'd say I grew up an only child. So I have some real interesting ones. And my mom didn't hold back. Okay.
Well, and your mom got them from my mom.
And there are some also that I got a couple of funny stories, but that, hopefully are unique to, to just our situation. But anyway, hey, that concludes our show, okay. Captain Tom. Great shirt. I love it. I'm glad that you got a nice shirt from a Reds game.
Oh, yeah.
Hope they have a great season. I'm sure we'll talk about it as the season progresses.
Starting off 0-1. But, what can we do?
Whatever. But anyway.
Real quick. You know what that means because they lost.
What does that mean?
They can't sell beer at the stadium anymore this year.
What?
Yeah. They lost the opener.
Beep, 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 beep. This just in.
That's the thing about jokes. You gotta play it cool. I had you going, didn't I?
Tom Tidbit. Captain Tom Tidbit. There you go. Joke 3 of the day. I love it. Thank you for that one.
You're welcome.
I needed that. But anyway, like I need a hole in my head. No, I'm just kidding.
Or another one. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I always say, another hole in my head.
Jeez. Well, that concludes our show. Thanks for joining us. Hey, and like my mom always used to say, one of her momisms, right? If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Have a great one.
And I'd like to say thank you all for viewing and love you all, and we'll see you the next time.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night, folks.